Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox, and today I want to talk about the Steven Universe movie. More specifically, the villain of the Steven Universe movie. Now, I do believe we are a bit away from the movie actually premiering, as I'm pretty sure it's slated for a 2019 release. And to clear up any confusion, yes, this is a television movie. I've seen some people kind of confused on, is this a TV movie? Is this going to be a theatrical film? Now, personally, if you ask me, I think if we start gauging enough interest now, make enough noise, then maybe Cartoon Network will look into partnering up with maybe Fathom Events and putting the movie into theaters for a limited run. Similar to how Regular Show the movie had one showing exclusive to one theater, something like that but on a grander scale, and I do believe Steven Universe has the audience and fandom for that. But let's sort all that out at a later time. Although if it can happen for anime films, I think it can happen for Steven Universe. Speaking of anime films, I feel as if it's appropriate to akin this movie to a lot of anime films, particularly shonen films, like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece. And by that I mean this film will go off of the series canon. Whatever happens in the series will affect this movie, but what happens in this movie won't affect the actual series. There may be little Easter eggs and references here and there, but ultimately this won't be a game changer. It won't be something along the lines of, oh my god, if you didn't watch this movie, then you won't understand why Steven has a newfound peanut allergy. I know, heavy stuff, guys. And that line of thinking isn't anything out of the usual for Cartoon Network shows. I mean, I think the only comparable thing in this instance would be Codename Kids Next Door Operation Zero. Now, admittedly, that movie did have some status quo changing things, some pretty huge revelations and origins of characters that I never saw coming. Maybe things would have been different if I was the age I was now. Because you bet your bottom dollar, the Roundtable was around back then, and well, YouTube as a whole, we would have been doing Kids Next Door content out of the wazoo. Anyways, the revelations and occurrences in Operation Zero, despite having massive ramifications, was almost never referenced in the series afterwards. The only significant instance of it resurfacing was in the series finale, and even that was one line of dialogue. Regular Show the movie can also kind of be compared here, just because the ending of that film doesn't line up with the series proper. Slight spoilers, but it ends on a huge cliffhanger of, oh, we're never going to be late again to work, because now we have this awesome spacecraft, and we never see the spacecraft again. It's never referenced, not even in the finale, I believe, which was disappointing, but this is done for both syndication purposes and because it's just not that wise to have this major television event impact subsequent episodes of a series in a huge way. The only exception I can think of is if the TV movie is a series finale, a conclusion, then go all out, go buck wild. Anyways, all of this is a major factor in deducing who this new villain can be and just how great of an impact they'll have on Steven Universe as a whole. Now, to repeat what I said a few moments ago, what happens in this series will impact this movie. And going off the teaser, the villain of this movie is a gem in some way, shape, or form. And the crystal heart, the main imagery of the teaser, is more than likely the gemstone of the antagonist. Which means, at this point in the game, for the antagonist to be a gem, strongly insinuates that Yellow and Blue may not be on the best of terms with Steven for much longer. This is something we previously speculated, that White Diamond might force Yellow and Blue to turn on Pink Diamond. This doesn't mean they'll resent Pink Diamond, but it just means that, you know, if Steven's out running in space, Homeworld's gonna turn the other way, at least by Yellow and Blue's accord, because unless this takes place prior to Season 5, which I also can't see happening just because that'll be confusing to the viewers. It's not like Save the Light, where it's a video game released, you know, separately ahead from massive stuff happening in the series. This is going to be aired in between episodes. This isn't just something you can watch on your own time. So while it could take place in between Season 5 and 6, I don't see it happening before the events of Reunited or any of that sort. And I can't see a gem, especially if they're from Homeworld, willingly attack Pink Diamond, who, from what we can tell, will all view Steven as Pink Diamond. So again, Pink becoming public enemy number 1 due to White Diamond seems to be a likely outcome just from this movie's villain. Or else it wouldn't really make much sense on why Steven couldn't just call upon the diamonds, being like, hey, Yellow, Blue, you know, this gem's kind of giving us trouble. Can you guys help out, maybe? Now, a really popular fan theory suggests that this gem is actually a hybrid like Steven. that the events of the movie were foreshadowed by the episodes Are You My Dad and Lion 4 Alternate Ending, both episodes suggesting that Steven may not actually be one of a kind. Steven and Connie have a conversation, trying to make a backstory for Aquamarine. Blissfully unaware of the storm that's ahead of them from her, they paint a scenario where maybe she's a gem who crash landed on Earth and was adopted by a rich, wealthy man with a heart of gold and house of gold. Heart of gold, heart gemstone. You put in the pieces together, and Steven does go on to say, I guess I'd watch the movie of that. Now, with how big the world of Steven Universe is, and how it appears that humans in this world just kind of accept gems for who they are, I mean, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl do predate every single human currently on the planet, it does make sense that a gem could live quietly on Earth, even if they're among human beings. And if they're not causing that much of a ruckus, then said gem would never end up on Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl's radar. Now, Lion 4 pushed the narrative quite a bit that maybe another hybrid was out there. Steven even momentarily thought that he had a sister named Nora. Perhaps that could be the Earth-given name of the villain in this movie. Now, I'm assuming the idea of this movie has probably been floating around for a while, and by the time they were working on the end of season 4, it likely could have already been greenlit. Thus, in pre-production, they started outlining the story, what it would be about, and how it fits into the narrative. Personally, I'm game for this idea. An entire movie, which I'm assuming would be anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes, dedicated to exploring another gem hybrid as opposed to just a few episodes and then they fade to obscurity, would be magnificent. Yet, I would like to suggest a theory of my own. Now, the knowledge of there being a Steven Universe movie floated around the internet for quite some time. There was actually a post floating around 4chan with tidbits of information concerning Cartoon Network's agenda in 2018 that, well, all added up thus far. And in that post, it specified that the movie would be a musical. Again, this makes a lot of sense. Rebecca Sugar loves musicals. When Mr. Greg premiered, they specified it was Steven Universe's first musical episode, implying there would be more in the future. But how do you top Mr. Greg? Well, with a movie. But how would being a musical impact the story in a meaningful way? Especially since it appears this villain is a gem. Okay, hear me out. We know that music has some sort of relevance in Homeworld's culture. Granted, Peridot wasn't exactly sure what music was. Yet, Yellow Diamond clearly knows what it is, Blue Diamond knows what it is. What's the Use of Feeling Blue was a canonical song that actually was sung to Blue Diamond. Steven also suggested that maybe the Corruption Attack was actually a song, but we later learned that the Diamond Attack was an actual physical attack by Yellow, Blue, and White Diamond. So, what does this mean? While we could elaborate on this in a future Crystal Clear, what if music is something reserved for elite gems, and can even be weaponized among Homeworld? I know, not much basis to this theory, but again, Peridot had to learn what music was, while the Diamonds already have full knowledge of it, so there appears to be something there. Or it just got retconned, either or. But for the fun of speculating, what would happen if a lower class gem was caught partaking in music? There would be consequences, right? Well, what if there was a gem who had the ability to strip music away for the non-elites who are caught making music, who are caught singing? I think it would be really neat if the villain of this movie was a gem who could strip the way of music away from other gems. And Steven has to go on an adventure to restore music back to Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. I know that's out there, I really do, but hear me out. The San Diego Comic-Con poster for this year featured all the townies and Steven playing music. The townies, human beings who would be immune to a gem's attack. If this movie is a musical, hear me out, I really do believe that might be the premise. Or I could be totally wrong. Maybe this isn't even a gem at all. I guess only time will tell. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I'd love to hear yours. What do you think? What are your theories concerning this movie's villain? Let us know in the comments below or tweet your thoughts really to me at AwestruckVox or at the Roundtable on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Roundtable Vids. If you want to help the Roundtable Girls, support us on Patreon. Get access to exclusive perks and have your name featured at the end of the video like all these beautiful, wonderful people. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications, stay in the loop of all things Steven. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. AwestruckVox, out.